Welcome to the Project Management Institute 2024 Annual Membership Meeting. Please welcome to the stage LuAnn Piccard, Chair of the PMI Board of Directors.
That wasn't intentional. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful audience that we have here, a group of leaders, all of you. Thank you so much for being part of our membership community. Good evening, everyone. My name's LuAnn Piccard, as you know, and this year I have the absolute pleasure of serving as your chair of the PMI Board of Directors. Such a privilege. So whether you're joining us here in person in Los Angeles or tuning in virtually, we are absolutely thrilled to have you with us here today. So now I'd like to call our meeting to order. And it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to PMI's annual membership meeting. Each year, this meeting is an important time for us to reflect on our achievements, celebrate our successes, and provide insight on what's top of mind for you, our members. This year marks the 55th anniversary of PMI, which is remarkable because it's a testament to more than 5.5 decades of continued growth and success. There's been a lot of changes over the years, but one constant has been that our community and members have been the driving force behind our success. Your dedication, passion, and commitment has shaped PMI into the leading organization that it is today. As we look ahead, feedback from our community is critical to our ongoing success. So in preparation for this meeting, we actually reached out to hear your thoughts and questions. So today we're going to have a panel discussion where we address some of the key topics that you raised to our attention. These include how PMI continues to provide value to its members, advocate for the profession, and support project management professionals in this challenging global economy. We also received enthusiastic feedback about our PMI by AI initiative. So we thank you for your input and questions. That helps us address what matters most to you as we continue to develop learning materials and thought leadership resources and raise awareness of the importance of our profession. So thank you for being here. To all of you. So the minutes from the 2023 annual membership meeting are posted on pmi.org. So can I have a member who is present here in the room to please move the following resolution to approve the 2023 minutes? Oh, thank you, Serena. And do I have a second? Okay, thank you, Tom. So would all in-person attendees please take a moment to cast their vote to approve the 2023 annual membership meeting minutes? If you approve, kindly raise your hand now. Thank you so much for the voting. The minutes are approved. I want to express sincere appreciation to all of our volunteers for so generously giving your time and expertise. I would also like to thank our board engagement partners for their role in supporting the board and the Institute. These include the Board Volunteer Advisory Committee, otherwise known as BVAC, the Ethics Review Committee, or ERC, the PMI Global Accreditation Center for Project Management Education Programs, otherwise known as GAC, the Nominating Committee, which is NOMCOM, and PMI Educational Foundation. So thank you to all of you members of those committees that serve the board and serve the association. We are grateful for all that you do, so thank you. Next, I would like to recognize and thank our directors who, along with me, are completing their board service this year. Serena Arcari, Jennifer Tharp, Galen Townsend, Would you please, Jennifer and Serena, please stand and be recognized for your service? Thank you so much. Your dedication and contributions have been invaluable to our success, and we are grateful for your service and commitment to PMI. Now, please join me in welcoming the following individuals who have been elected to serve on the Board of Directors from 2025 through 2027. Teresa Knudsen, Pablo Lieto, Carla McIntosh Gordon, and Mario Trentum. Could I please ask the four of you to stand? They will be joining the returning directors to form the 2025 Board of Directors, and we will announce specific committee chair roles for later in 2025. But I'd also like to please recognize Tom and Lynn, also here tonight, to please stand as our continuing board members. And Ike, are you here? Oh, there you are. Okay. All right, Ike, Vanina. So before I turn things over to President and CEO Pierre LuAnn, I would like to show a video that celebrates our members and shows how each of us can light the way for our profession.
This year, Project Management Institute embarked on a transformative journey with the launch of PMI Next, a bold strategy that calls for each of us to step up and illuminate the path for elevating our world. As a global community of more than 700,000 professionals, we are the torchbearers guiding the success of projects that truly matter. PMI Next empowers us to lead with courage, inspire those around us, and pave the way for the future. We are fearless. We embrace innovation, harnessing technology to push boundaries and enhance our collective knowledge. With the launch of PMI by AI, a suite of AI-related courses and offerings, including PMI Infinity, we are setting new standards for project management and ensuring project professionals have the resources to succeed. And our commitment to continuous learning and community support is unwavering. By expanding our educational offerings, strengthening our chapters, and welcoming organizations like PMOGA and Project Managers Without Borders, we are opening doors for our members to thrive and give back, creating a ripple effect that enlightens, energizes, and touches lives around the globe. Each and every day, we raise the bar on excellence, ensuring that PMI remains the leading authority in project management. Recognized and trusted worldwide, our gold standard certifications stand out as a testament to our dedication. Together, we are more than a community. We are a force for positive change. With every project we lead, we light the way for future generations, elevating our world and creating a lasting impact. Thank you for being the heart of PMI, turning ideas into action while driving our transformation and inspiring a brighter future for all.
Now, I'd like to have us all give a warm welcome to our amazing CEO and President, Pierre LuAnn.
Missed it. Oh my God. Thank you, Mrs. Chair. By the way, thank you for your service as well. Please give her a big round of applause. It's been 6 years already. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our annual membership meeting. I hope you're all having a terrific time here, just like we do, I do at least in LA, or wherever you are, joining us virtually, because we have a lot of people who joined virtually. So I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about some of the major accomplishments since last year, since our last annual membership meeting. But before that, I want to start by expressing my deep gratitude to all of you for being members of PMI. By being a member, you support our efforts, of course, to advance the global community of project professionals, and you are contributing to the profession itself by being a member. So on behalf of our entire team at PMI, on behalf of my executive team, some of them are here, on behalf of the board, of course, thank you. Thank you so much for your support, for your insight, for your active participation in ensuring that PMI remains the leading and welcoming authority for project management. And of course, I want to extend again a special thanks to LuAnn and to our board of directors for having been such an amazing partner or amazing partners as we work together to transform and future-proof our profession. And they've played such a key role also in developing and supporting our PMI Next strategy, which leads me, perfect segue, always this slide, to go over a few of our most impactful accomplishments since our last annual membership meeting last year. So I mentioned some of that this morning, but many of you are attending online, like I said, so you were not there. And anyway, for those of you who are here in LA, I will add a few more details, so hopefully I won't be too much of a bore. So we have communicated extensively about PMI Next on the page, and I believe at this point, all of you are at least somewhat familiar with most of it. Now, what is really important to remember is that some parts of PMI Next are designed to remain unchanged for many years. It's not all the same, but some of them are really here for a long time. Our purpose, for instance, because everything we do is in service of our ambitious purpose to maximize project success, to elevate our world, and do it responsibly, right? So we can really elevate our world. Our values are here to stay, because our mindset and how we behave are unifying factors, a sort of common DNA, right, that enables us to go together, which hopefully means we will go far. Now, other things that will last, hopefully, is the decisions we made to play or to focus on 3 specific areas where we feel PMI can really truly leverage our know-how, our knowledge, our history, our legacy, and bring a unique value to the profession. So first of all, and again, gold standard certifications, and really better separating what is a true professional certification from e-learning, badges, certificates, right? It's very important that we do this and we speak the same language. We don't talk about the PMP as a certificate. A certificate is the little badge or the paper, but it's a professional certification. Now, career-long learning and development opportunities, here it means really doing more for professionals at the earlier and later stage of their careers than we have so far. And then this area that we have touched already in the past, but in a very scattered and to an extent, I would say limited way. And now technology and AI are opening great new possibilities for us to develop these platforms based on knowledge that is created or vetted by you, by our community, that will help us not only learn, but also do things like running projects, making connections, finding resources, right? So this is where PMI Infinity sits, for instance, but in the coming years, we have many ideas to expand this area beyond what is PMI community. Now, the idea here with this third play that is actually first but I like presenting it the other way. I think it's easier. So it does leverage our scale, right? And this unique ability we have to gather and amplify the collective intelligence, the collective strength of our community of experts, right? To benefit each of us. It's the power of many in service of each of us. So other things on this page may evolve, right, over time. There are more the how do we do it. And of course, we're currently working very hard on each of these initiatives, in this bottom part of the chart. But over time, some of the tasks will be completed, right? So we might have other ones that will emerge. So as I mentioned this morning, we've already made significant progress bringing PMI Next to life. So, and I know that for many of you, the number one topic of both concern and excitement these days is AI. It's always the topic number one in terms of interest in all the conferences, in all the meetings we have. Now, we've been working to provide you with content, courses, tools, so that you can adjust successfully to this revolution and actually even leverage it, right? Leverage it to make us even more recognized. So AI is really going to change the way projects and businesses are run. You know, if we are going to future-proof our profession, we need to equip project professionals to not only leverage AI in the day-to-day work, but also make all of us able to lead the AI transformation of our organizations. So I spoke about PMI Infinity this morning. We launched PMI Infinity 1.0 in January. Now we have Infinity 2.0 launching at the end of the month with more added functionalities. We're going also to integrate Infinity in our learning courses. It's going to be very, very connected to our learning courses. And we're, of course, going to make it as easy as possible for you to use. Now, as I mentioned this morning, we have over 50,000 active users already with PMI Infinity, and of course, we hope that the number will increase with Infinity 2.0 and then 3.0. I really encourage you. You're here, right? You're very interested in PMI. You have passion for PMI. Use it. Amplify it. The more we will use it, the more we'll amplify it, the more successful it will be. Now, on the learning side, or e-learning side, I talked about the 3 courses this morning that we have already launched. It feels like the first one was like many years ago, but it was only 12 months ago. And then the 4th one is coming towards the end of the year. By the way, I don't know for those of you who've taken the courses, but every time we launch a new course, it's actually better than the previous one. So I'm really very confident that we'll get to a very, very good place here. So yeah, the one coming in December is going to be about the practical applications of AI to project management. Pretty important topic. Now, again, we've had already 365,000 registered learners. It's 250,000 this year in 2024, plus what we had in the last months of 2023. And we will continue growing, right? So we will add more courses, and we will refresh our current courses, existing ones, because, of course, AI is evolving pretty quickly. Today, we announced a new AI practice guide that we called AI Essentials for Project Professionals. It's going to be a strong foundation that will evolve into the first ANSI-accredited standard for AI in project, program, and portfolio management. Once we have gone through the whole process, which includes a period of public consultation. It's a standard, right? So it's not really a PMI book. It's us favoring or nurturing, setting up a standard that is defined by our community of professionals. Now, we believe we have a responsibility to lead the AI transformation of project management, and we take that responsibility seriously. You'll be hearing a lot more about PMI by AI in the months and in the years to come. I want to highlight, it's important for our members, that a big choice we've made is to make everything we do as part of PMI by AI entirely free for members. Cannot guarantee that it will last forever. It depends a little bit on what ideas we will have, but as much and as long as we can, we want it to be part of the value of PMI membership. Now, on a different topic, I mentioned earlier that we want to invest in supporting project professionals along their full career path, from entry-level practitioners to senior leaders. So in the past year, we've made, I think, quite significant strides in this area. I mean, more to come, of course, but we've already made good progress. First of all, as we know, we acquired PMO Global Alliance, to expand our community knowledge and expertise to more senior levels, right? But also to help PMOs drive greater value in the organization that they work for. I want to say this again, PMOs remain critical actors and decision makers for our discipline in the corporate world and in government. So we've integrated PMO GA offerings already on PMI.org. We've aligned branding. Including, by the way, for the certifications. We have migrated PMO GA volunteers to our VEP platform. And we've also brought the PMO Awards, the PMO GA annual event called the Unconference, into the PMI world. And as I mentioned this morning, we are creating these regional hubs, still work in progress, and we are preparing for the launch of PMO GA in China. The discussions are making good progress with our partners of the Chinese government, so I'm pretty confident that we will make this happen early next year with the first exam of PMO GA certifications in March or April 2025 in China. Now, on the more young professional side of the spectrum, we've expanded our chapter student clubs. There are now 8 clubs in their pilot phase. They reached 600 students in 7 regions, and we have partnered through those students with 19 universities to date. And then there is this very important initiative around project managers without borders. So the acquisition, it's actually not even an acquisition because PMWB is actually a nonprofit, but they joined our family to allow project professionals at all stages of their careers. You know, even if, of course, it is particularly compelling for younger generations of project professionals, but everyone will be able to find opportunities where project professionals will be able to leverage their expertise in project management and do it in service or in the service of causes that they really care about, that are meaningful to them. So we already have more than 1,200 people who have expressed an interest in volunteering. Some of the opportunities will come from the 4 global partnerships that we have already secured. But what I'm really excited about is the idea to expand all of this initiative together with our chapters, right? And the goal here is to equip our chapters and support them so they can make local agreements with NGOs and offer similar volunteering opportunities in service of a cause that you all care about. Now, if you can do that, I really think it's going to really leverage the PMI flywheel, right? And its multiplier effect in service of our purpose. Now, of course, we also have volunteering and volunteers working on many other initiatives within their communities. And I want to mention the great work done by our PMI Educational Foundation, which continues to provide direct financial support to youth serving and nonprofit programs all around the world. Now, different topic, I mentioned our plans to strengthen our gold standard certifications. You know, I think of PMI as a quote-unquote broker of trust between employers and project professionals. So when a hiring manager sees a PMI professional certification on a resume or on LinkedIn, they should trust that the applicant has the competencies and experience that are commensurate with the professional certification bestowed by PMI. And we need to maintain that trust. It's very important. So we've done a lot of work to further establish our certifications as the gold standard in our field. And again, even beyond project management. And one of the things that we did this year was to align with our board of directors on a set of criteria that all our professional certifications must meet or will meet over time. So this slide shows a simplified summary of it, of these criteria. So for instance, over time, all our professional certifications will either meet these standards, by the way, or alternatively, they will become e-learning courses, right, with a completion badge. Now, practically speaking, just this year, we've strengthened our CAPM as a critical entry-level certification. You know, we've taken steps also to make sure that PMP remains the leading certification for experienced project managers, for instance, by enhancing our exam integrity and anti-fraud technology. And we're currently working, actually assessing whether a new advanced certification for seasoned professionals would make sense. And if it does make sense, how we would do that. And some of you are involved in that work. Now, we're also reinforcing professional certifications that help our community specialize, right, in their career, like the ACP or the RMP. But also with our construction professional certification, we're learning how we can add even more value for those who are focused on a specific industry. So still a lot of work to do. But for instance, I mentioned this morning that we are about to launch a new PMI ACP certification in November, and we're going to do this with a complete suite of exam preparation material, learning, study hall, and generally speaking, an improved user experience. So that's, again, something that we want to do for any of our gold standard certification, because the journey is important as well. It's not just the exam. Now, on a different topic, as you know, one of our cultural values is make it easy. And historically, this has not been PMI's greatest strength, let's be honest. So that is why, for example, we have decided to truly improve our digital experience when you interact with PMI. And in particular, we started to redevelop and simplify our website So PMI.org is being optimized to give you what my marketing team is telling me will be a best-in-class end-to-end user experience with a seamless look and feel. And actually, if you go to our website, you'll see that it's really massively improved. It's really much easier to make transactions, manage your account. So I encourage you all, if you haven't had a chance yet, to check it out. The first delivery, like I said, is already live. And yeah, let us know what you think, because it's just the first delivery and we have more coming. You know, like many of our PMI initiatives, by the way, many things are work in progress, but we will continue to improve based on your feedback. And next year at this time, I'm actually looking forward to showing you the PMI native mobile app, which we are working on and plan to launch sometime in 2025. Not going to give any date because, you know, I'm cautious. So very importantly too, we've also made great progress in improving what we call the PMI purchase experience, right, through our Pay Local initiative. So thanks to this initiative, Pay Local, first of all, we've been able to adjust our pricing, right, by groups of countries to reflect different economic realities. Very important. Now, second, it's also allowed us to decrease decline rates of payments, right, and to expand payment methods beyond credit cards. Like in so many regions of the world, not maybe in the US, but many other ones, credit cards is something of the past, right? So we need to be able to expand that. It's a lot of work, but we'll get there. Generally speaking, the goal is to make our transaction processes really much smoother. Now, lastly, I'd like to talk briefly about something that is really top of mind of any leader, of any business, or any organization. Growth. Because it doesn't matter what industry you're in, or in which geography you serve, any company, any organization needs to grow to survive. You know, growth fuels innovation, growth helps attract talent, and growth keeps or accelerates momentum. And PMI is no exception. So at this point, as many of you know, our revenue can be roughly broken down, very roughly broken down into three parts, right? So very roughly 1/3 in North America, which is mostly the US, of course, 1/3 from China, and 1/3 from the rest of the world. And this breakdown in itself, by the way, is not a bad thing. You know, we're working to grow the overall pie. So in fact, we want to grow in each of the regions this year as we did in 2023. Now, China had an exceptional growth year last year because we had a catch-up effect, right, from restrictions that to in-person exams that occurred in 2022, right? So because of COVID. So of course, last year was like more than 1 year in 1 year. But the nice growth rate we had, and you can see here in the other regions, so basically the world outside of China, and in particular in the US, we've seen very significant growth this year as well. It's actually been accelerated compared to 2023. So that's awesome performance. Now, a large part of our growth plans, of course, includes what we're doing right now here in LA, right? Events like our Global Summit, like the Global Summit series that we launched this year, and we will keep expanding across all regions. Our chapter events, other events, virtual, in-person events, all are very important opportunities for us for networking, for learning, and of course, for engaging with existing and potential new members of our community. So please help if you can. You know, we keep breaking attendance records. We mentioned this morning over 4,000. I never know before the end of the summit how many people came. So I think it's going to be somewhere between 4,000 and even 4,500. And hopefully we will continue to do so year after year. Our single membership program, by the way, will also help us, hopefully, to grow more. The vision here that we have is that PMI membership will be a sort of global pass, right? So think of something that will give you access to all events worldwide and access to a global community seamlessly. Wherever you relocate, wherever you travel, right? It's like really becoming this global family that PMI should be. So we launched a pilot in India last November, and it worked extremely well. It was combined with other things like Pay Local, of course, so it's very difficult to determine what contributed to what. But in the end, we saw a massive increase, of course, of chapter membership, like almost 3 times more, but also of membership in general. Now, at the end of 2025, at the end of January 2025, we are going to begin roll out the program to new countries, right? And if all things go well, because we need the financials to work, so we need to be careful and do this in order, if all goes well, by the end of 2027, I hope that we will have seen this single membership happen everywhere, right? And that will be one of the things that we will need to do, the other ones being about the websites and making sure the technology that supports all of this vision will work. But if we can do all of that, then we'll be able to activate in full our global pass by then. Now, last thing, we've, I think, clearly made strides in implementing PMI Next, but what does it all mean? So, you know, I like numbers, so let's look at the numbers. So as of today, we have roughly 740,000 PMI members. That's actually 50,000 more than a year ago, right? And fingers crossed, I hope to see the 1 million mark someday. So if you want to get rid of me, let's do it fast, right? So we have more than 300 chapters worldwide, more than 1.7 million active certification holders in total, with more than 120,000 new PMPs in 2024. Our Global Executive Council has more than 80 members now, and soon 100, I hope, as we are developing what we call regional twins of our council, right? So basically, twins in each of the different regions that regroup many of the main employers of project professionals on the planet. And importantly, we have restored our financial stability, which allows us to invest in PMI Next and in our growth. So it's been a great year, a year of transformation. I'm happy to report to our members that we are making progress, all of us together. Please remember our purpose. We maximize project success to elevate our world. Every project, no matter how small, every project matters, makes an impact, because it always matters to someone. So it might matter to a few people only in your company or in your community or a larger group or a whole company, a whole community, a whole economy, a whole country, or even the whole world. But in the end, every project matters. The work you do matters. Your contribution to PMI as members, helping us grow, helping us guide the way, helping us light the way for our global community, for future generations of project professionals, what you do matters. So thank you very much. This is when I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. But I think I'm supposed to call LuAnn back on stage. I hope it's exactly what I'm supposed to do. If not, we'll wing it. No, it's fine.
This time I'll give you a proper hug.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pierre. So now we're going to transition to our panel discussion, where we're going to answer some of the questions that you all submitted from, some of you maybe even were submitters of those questions, but certainly from our community. So to facilitate this discussion, I'm so pleased to introduce Joanne DeSantis, who serves as PMI's Director of Community and Volunteer Programs, a long-term employee of PMI. We're grateful for you and your service. Thank you, Joanne. I'd also like to welcome Brantlee Underhill, who is our Chief Community Officer, and who will also help us answer some of the questions that have been raised. So welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Good. Thank you, LuAnn.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody. I am so thrilled to be here to facilitate this session. I'm going to kick this off like LuAnn said. These questions came from our community. They were curated, so I have 5 questions for you all. I'm going to start with Brantlee.
5 each?
5 each.
Yes. Okay.
No.
Rapid fire.
We'd be here all night.
We're kidding.
So Brantlee, as economies around the world face challenges, particularly in regions like Africa, our members have been finding it difficult to participate in PMI programs or pay membership dues. What's PMI's plan to support and relieve our members in these badly hit economies?
Cool. Thank you, Joanne, and I'm thrilled that you're here as well. So in 2023, we significantly enhanced the PMI purchase experience through the launch of our Pay Local initiative. And that's where we use location-based pricing programs that are designed to support members in regions that are facing economic hardships, such as Africa. The program costs are based on the member's location, so it's making it more affordable for members to be able to purchase membership and other select product offerings, such as registration to Global Summit, as an example. We use economic data from the World Bank as well as other sources so that we're ensuring fair and equitable pricing. And we review the performance regularly, and we certainly adjust accordingly based on what we're learning. We also reviewed transaction decline rates, as Pierre had mentioned. We've been taking steps to reduce the barriers to entry and ensure consistency in the way that we communicate our pricing. And as a result, we've been able to offer more accessible opportunities for our members to learn and connect. And this effort has really been key to our commitment of improving pricing, as well as making it easy for our global community to be able to access PMI's benefits and offerings despite the current economy.
Okay, thank you. The next one's for you, Pierre, and you actually spoke a bit about AI in your earlier comments. But given the increasing role of AI in project management, do you anticipate it becoming an official module within the PMP certification, similar to how Agile has been integrated?
Yeah, the answer, the general answer to this is yes, but I want to say that our approach initially was to deliver e-learning pretty fast, right? And you can't change PMP like this. Like it's something that requires volunteers, experts to take a look at that, so it takes time. So we had a different approach. We thought, okay, let's try to answer the most pressing needs of our community and members and get stuff out, right? So in 30 days, we launched our first, by the way, when I said, let's launch a course in 30 days, do you remember the reaction?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, everybody was thrilled. Like another crazy idea. We actually did it in 30 days.
We did.
And it was pretty good. Yeah. It's not to me, it's them. They did all the work.
All of you.
Right. So 3 courses already delivered. Like I said, 350,000, 65,000 registrants. Showed a very high interest from the community. Now, we also launched PMI Infinity pretty quickly. It took us a little longer, but only a few months, honestly, because we started to work on it. I remember we had a meeting in August, yes, at the end of August in 2023, and we talked about that, like thought about whether we should acquire, partner, build, and we decided to go with build. And we launched PMI Infinity version 1 in January, right? So it was a 4-month turnaround, pretty quick, pretty good. And of course, now with Infinity 2.0, I'm really hopeful that we can grow the membership, grow the user base beyond the 50K that we currently have as active users. We made these Cognilytica acquisitions. When you have a strategy, sometimes it's good to make a few moves like this to disturb also a little bit the day-to-day, like let's do the things as we've always done. So it's good to have a number of moves like this, and it also helps anchor in the mind of people that you're actually serious. You mean it, right? So PMI by AI is just not just an idea that I had one day, just waking up in the morning, taking my shower. This is something that we are very committed, right? We're committed about making this work, and the acquisition of Cognilytica, of course, is going to not only help doing that, but also give us, frankly, learning products and certifications. We have certifications now through Cognilytica in AI. It's more, again, the certifications about managing AI transformation projects, right? The stuff that is there is going to be more long-lasting than just learning the last tool that is out there. Now, yes, the plan is definitely to integrate AI topics and AI content in our certification suite, not just PMP, all of them. And of course, also in PMBOK. But I'm not the guy writing PMBOK, luckily, for all of you and for myself. So it's not like I tell the people working on PMBOK, this is what you need to put on PMBOK. They're all experts. They know what they're doing. They know that we want to see more AI, and they absolutely agree with that, by the way. So we will have this, of course, reflected in the next version of PMP, in the next version of other products, and in the next version of the PMBOK.
Okay. Thank you, Pierre. All right, LuAnn, you're next. All right, considering the importance of global representation for our community and PMP holders, What can be done to ensure that all regions, including Asia Pacific and others, are represented on the board of directors?
Yeah, thanks for that question. Even though that question was asked from someone in the Asia Pacific region, it really does pertain to all of our regions because we are a global organization and we want to be represented by the populations and the people that we serve. So our board of directors, as we mentioned earlier, are made up of 12 dedicated volunteers who are elected by our global community, by you. And it's really important to ensure that we have a diverse and globally representative board. And that nomination process is critical to making sure that we have the global representation that we need. So just the way the process works is there's a call for nominations that goes out in early February. Someone could nominate you or you could self-nominate. Then there's a series of steps that are taken, including some virtual interviews and assessing candidates against critical criteria that the board is looking for its leadership. And then once that process is concluded, then the end number of people that are chosen to be on the board slate are elected. They go out, there's a ballot that goes out, and you all elect our board members. So I want to make sure that I emphasize how critically important it is for all of you to participate because your voice is your vote. So make sure that you nominate people that you would love to see serve. It's a great way for us to also develop that leadership pipeline that we rely on from our senior volunteers to lead the organization in partnership with our executive and senior leadership team. And it is really a true partnership, as Pierre mentioned earlier, and it's a wonderful opportunity to serve. So I encourage all of you to think about it, but also to nominate some of your fellow professionals that you also think would be great candidates to help lead the organization into the future. So by nominating those qualified individuals from your region, and casting your vote, you truly do have the opportunity to shape the leadership of PMI and ensure that it does reflect the global community's diverse perspectives. So your involvement, I want to really reinforce that, is critical and key to ensuring that our board truly represents you and our worldwide membership.
Thank you, LuAnn. All right, back over to you, Pierre. Beyond the business solutions that are currently available, including our training course offerings and certification programs, are there any plans to expand our professional services to support organizations and businesses? So basically, can you tell us more about our B2B strategy for the future?
So professional services in the sense of consulting, no, I don't think we should do that. First of all, because so many companies make the massive mistake to try and do something that they're not qualified to do. They don't have the skills to do it. They want to go there. They feel, oh, that's a great market. Why shouldn't we be in consulting? Well, because that's not what we do. And so I'm adamantly negative about that. Unless we were in a situation where we had no other choice, it would make a big difference for the profession, but I don't think so. I think it's much better to focus on what we're good at and do it better. Right? The things that we can uniquely deliver to the profession, to the world, is what we should focus on, not stuff that others should do and can do much better than us. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that I don't agree with having an offer for corporations, but it's very different than doing consulting. I think there's a vast opportunity, in fact, to turn our current offers into offers that really meet the needs of organizations, focusing on real needs that they have. So let me give you a few examples. Supporting their people doing their jobs. Most companies would agree with that. Like, can you support my PMO team to do their job, my project management teams? Not by doing consulting, but PMI Infinity. Support systems that we can bring, including membership, is a great support system. You can find other people, get some help. Think about not a PMI Infinity, but a platform that enables people to talk to each other, find competencies somewhere else. Like, oh, I find someone who has a similar problem, I want to talk to them worldwide, you use your global pass. Imagine how that could work, right? So that would be great, I think, for corporations. Upskilling or reskilling, all of them are interested in that, of course. Career-long learning, AI. We have products that, if we repackage them a little bit, would work very well on the LMS systems of our corporate clients. Right now, the problem is it's not really equipped to do that. It's not easy to plug into our corporate clients' systems, internal systems. If you think about cooperating with them in launching this advanced certification that I was talking about before. There's no reason why, of course, an advanced certification has to make sure that people have experience, not just taken an exam or learn something in books, right? It has to be a lot about the experience. We could cooperate with them. So that's another idea that we have. And generally speaking, I think we have a real potential for corporations and governments to use us, PMI, as a great retention tool for their employees. Because project professionals sometimes feel like, many professions who are quite specialized, have skills, you feel a little bit isolated when you're in a world of people who don't really understand what you're doing. And in fact, having this support system on the side that you can trust could be a great retention tool for companies. So it's on us, PMI, to convince them and then, of course, make it easy for them to work with us.
Okay, thank you. All right, last but not least, I'm coming back to Brantlee. Project Managers Without Borders is a fantastic initiative and a crucial element of PMI Next. What are the next steps, and how do we plan to expand the impact of this program?
Yeah, so Project Managers Without Borders has joined the PMI family as of January, and it is an organization, as Pierre mentioned earlier, that allows us to be able to work with our chapters, NGOs, and be able to apply project management skills in those organizations to create greater impact. We are working with 4 organizations currently, 4 NGOs, and at this event, we are rolling out a chapter onboarding guide so that we can continuously make available the opportunities for our chapters to grow and expand the scope of this initiative. And as Pierre mentioned, maybe by the end of the year, we'll have 8 different organizations joining the efforts. We will continue to scale this in 2025 through our chapters, through NGO partnerships, and it's such a great opportunity for us to work with organizations like Future Problem Solvers. I met one of the leaders of the organization that's here at this event today, as well as Tienda Futuros, as well as many organizations across the globe that are going to be leveraging the project management skills that our community offers to improve the impact that their organizations offer. We all want to make our communities where we live and work better, and Project Managers Without Borders is a way that we're going to do that together.
All right, well, thank you very much to our panelists. It's all we have time for. Thank you, everybody, and thank you to our members that sent in questions for us to consider and to share with you today. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to you, LuAnn.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you so much to my fellow panelists. That was a great discussion. I'm curious, with maybe some thumbs up, this is the first year we actually did this, where we solicited questions from our membership in response to what we thought you might want to know. How do people feel about that? Was that a good? Right, great, awesome. Thank you. Thanks for that feedback. But I want to remind that for those questions we didn't have the opportunity to address, given the time constraints, please understand that we've taken them all on board, and we're very anxious to try to address them in other future communications that we have with all of you, our valued members. So, with there being no new business or old business to discuss, I would like to thank you all for being here. Whether you joined us here today live in Los Angeles or virtually from around the world, we really appreciate your participation and engagement. Next year's annual meeting will be held on a day and time to be announced by the board sometime in the future. And now, I would like to say the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for being here.
This concludes the session. Thank you for joining us.